up here. See, we needed that full table to handle all the tape recorders.
Bigger table.
Better put our names in.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. You going to introduce it? Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm Susan Haney. I'm the Director of University Communication. These are the individuals who will be speaking to you and to whom you'll be asking questions. Helen Gonzalez, G-O-N-Z-A-L-E-S, is our Vice President for Human Resources. President David J. Schmidly, S-C-H-M-I-D-L-Y. And then Vice President for Athletics, Paul Krebs, K-R-E-B-S. And with that, is everybody ready? Okay.
Thanks. Vince Scully, famous sportscaster, once said, there are three sides to every story. There's your side, their side, and the truth. This is exactly what we've seen play out in our investigation of the incident that occurred on the night of September 20. We've done the best we can to get to the truth and determine exactly what happened in that meeting. Throughout this entire process, that's been our number one concern. Frankly, we're embarrassed by the whole situation, and especially by the mistakes and missteps in our procedures and practices. First of all, Coach Locksley's behavior surrounding an argument with a member of his staff was wrong, plain and simple. He has painted this university, the athletic department, Lobo football, and himself in an extremely poor light. All UNM employees have the right to have policies enforced fairly and equitably, and that's what we've tried to do with Coach Locksley. The punishment was in accord with policy and in accord with what we could determine happened between the two coaches. The coach has accepted his punishment. Next, an inquiry took place to determine what actually happened during the coaches' meeting on September the 20th, and the intended discipline was quickly announced so that the department and the team could move forward. All of this was well-intentioned, but in its attempt to be decisive and open, athletics acted too quickly. Our policies called for the inquiry being elevated to an HR investigation. Two people, one of whom is on my left here, who have experience in investigations and in whom I have the utmost confidence, conducted a thorough and professional investigation. I have complete faith in the honesty of the outcome of that investigation. That formal process was professional and thorough, and we remain confident that its conclusions were in balance with UNM policy. Unfortunately, we learned last night that Shannon Garbiso, who handles HR issues for athletics, destroyed her original notes after copies were given to HR for its official investigation. Though we believe her actions to be totally innocent, it is clear this adds to the confusion, and of course we wish it had not happened. However, we are confident there are complete copies of all of those notes. Finally, this university takes its responsibility to provide public records in an accurate and timely fashion very seriously. Our regents demand it. I understand that some local media did not receive all of the documents they had requested in a timely fashion, which would have been at the same time the documents were released to ESPN. That is an oversight for which we are sorry and have apologized. I, as well as many people in this room, wish that had not happened. It was a mistake. It was not intentional, and as soon as the error was realized, the documents requested were released. Ultimately, all the media received the same materials. At this point, I have seen no evidence of any cover-up, as many people have alleged. We bungled the process in the areas I've mentioned, and we have already taken steps to correct and refine our procedural issues. But, and I want to repeat this, I am not aware of any direct evidence that would suggest a cover-up. I do believe honesty and truth have prevailed, and the conclusions reached were appropriate. I continue to support Vice President Krebs and our Human Resources Department, and I believe that Coach Locksley should be afforded the opportunity to redeem himself and his program. So in closing, let me offer some perspectives that have been on my mind throughout this entire period. First, people and organizations are not perfect. Mistakes happen. The best you can do, and what everyone should expect that you do, is to get to the truth and handle issues forthrightly, and then to correct what caused the mistakes. Second, forgiveness is not a sin. We see examples all the time where people given a second chance have gone on to succeed and thrive. We believe in second chances. And third, hindsight is always 20/20. It's easy to look back and say this is what we could have done and should have done. What's happened has happened, and we're going to do everything in our power to see that it's never repeated. And that concludes my statement.